Hey guys, and welcome to the DojoCast. This is episode 25. I'm your host, Adrian Kidguru here. Today, I have a guest on the show. It's been a while, but he's back on, and I have Duncan, Duncan Maile here, or Mobilephone2003, as many of you know him. So, what's up, Duncan?
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Duncan.
So, you guys know it's been a long time since I think have I had you on the DojoCast before, Dunk? Is this your first appearance?
Can't remember.
I think it might have been a hell of a long time ago. I'm back from a 2-week vacation. I'm on summer. And Duncan's at home right now. Let's see. What's today's date? I have no idea. Today is July 18th, 1:35 a.m. for me. Yeah, I'm still awake. Duncan, what time is it for you down there in the UK?
It is 5:35 in the afternoon on Sunday.
On a Sunday, very nice. Yeah, same here. It's Sunday, or no, I guess it's Monday now because it's 1 a.m. But anyways, guys, we have I think about 5 stories. I want to say 5 stories, and our Duncan. I forgot to tell you if you want to get a pick, just so you can keep that in your mind. At the end, we'll talk about our pick of the week, if you don't mind, like a website, application, whatever you want to do. Just a little,
Sure.
Yeah, just a little heads up.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, I forgot to mention the title, but it's your thoughts plus mine, and I should have mentioned that way earlier. Anyways, first I want to talk about Google Plus, and me and Duncan have been using this quite a while. Duncan, I think, were you an early invitee or early user? How did you...
Reasonably.
Reasonably?
I've been using it a couple of weeks, I think.
Did you sign up like post or like before it was released?
Before it got out to general, before everyone else could invite everyone else.
Yes.
It was about a week or so before then, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was a little bit late because at first, when I got my invite, I messed up on the age thing, so I had no idea to be 18 for Google Plus. So then I got my other Gmail, and I've been on, and so far, it's not too bad. I think it's more of a... Would you agree that's more of like a geek, more of a network for geeks or tech heads?
Yeah.
Than the masses.
But that was, I think, I'm just trying to think that the other networks have been the same, hasn't it? Like it's been geeks have started off on the service, and then everyone comes in.
Yeah.
And then everyone's it for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah. At the moment, we're in that initial decent stage of just geeks.
Yeah, just like
social people.
Yeah.
People who want to jump on things early adopters.
Yeah. Because like that's how MySpace. I mean, what happened with MySpace, and when you got the general public in there, then they just kind of screwed everything up. Because then you get all these people like, getting these third-party sites to download like MySpace layouts and like all this crazy stuff, and then the spam comes along and all that. I mean, Facebook is doing okay right now, I guess, but it's doing great, not okay. But right now, Google Plus, as you guys don't know, Google's new network, social network. And it's aimed really at, I guess, a competitor to Facebook and or Twitter, you could say. It's surpassed 10 million users recently and has about 1 billion, this is the sharing information, has 1 billion pieces of content daily. So really, like Duncan said, it's become a huge hotbed for early adopters and, tech nerds alike. So really just, just a network for Google. Not much different. You're used to the Facebook layout. It's relatively the same. But I gotta say, I like they handled the stream very, very nicely. It looks very, very simplified. Google's really good at that design. They did it really, really nice. They made the privacy issues really easy. The circles, basically, you have circles to drag your friends in. So, what's your whole opinion? What's your thoughts, Doc, on Google Plus as by far?
Well, I made a video not so long ago, when I was using it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I pretty much slated it. I said, this is just like Facebook. I had hardly anybody in my little circles or anything. I was just like, why are people using this? There's no reason. The only real reason to come over is because of the Hangout thing.
Yeah, which is pretty decent.
And then I said, well, they should actually release that separately. But then the more I've started to use it, and the more I've started adding people in, and the more people are sharing, I'm starting to understand that it is aimed at people who are more tech-centric. But the problem is that it doesn't, this whole +1 thing isn't doing very well inside Google Plus. It's okay that you can +1 it and you have your own list of +1s, but this is more like Facebook really. When you like something, it appears in your stream.
Yeah.
Everyone can see it.
+1's not that.
The +1 doesn't do that. Yeah, +1's just totally separate. It's your own separate bit. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, because then it kind of defeats the point of +1, because surely you just want to bookmark.
Yeah.
You just bookmark it in your browser or whatever.
I mean, you get that +1, like things you've +1, but like how many people are actually going to go over to the things you've...
Exactly.
And unless they're specifically interested. On Facebook, you see something in your stream, then it's kind of in your face. It's there.
It's kind of like RSS, isn't it? Like, you don't want to keep going out to everybody's profile. You want all the information
delivered to you
in a long list.
Yes, definitely.
So, did you spend time putting like everybody you know into circles?
I just recently, because a couple of my friends, asked me about it. Because if you think of it, like you said, it's for the tech people, but it's kind of weird to see these, regular people, come in, because it's like not that they don't understand the concept, but it's just so different to them, And so I invited a couple friends, and I just recently added a whole friend circle and started that thing, internet, people I'm interested in, stuff like entrepreneurs, family, because I don't have that much family on there, like one or two, but I just recently kind of sorted out the circles, and I gotta say, circles is really easy to organize, which is great because it makes you delivering content to certain people much easier, because you can do Facebook groups, but Google Plus has really handled the interface well. But yeah, I recently just started doing the whole organizing people into these circles of lists. What about you? Have you done any of these circles yet?
Yeah, I've made a few. I did the same as you. I invited a couple of people that didn't even know Google Plus existed. I said that there's this new thing, and both people said that it was boring and they didn't want to go on it again. They went back to Facebook.
Yeah.
Because obviously Facebook has all the things like games and all that crap. But with Google Plus, I did spend some time going through it, but I'd love for it to be made easier. I know it's because I just don't think a lot of people are going to spend the time putting everybody in these circles.
Yeah, especially when you have like 700
unless they're really
friends.
serious about using the service. Because for example, if you go on Facebook, if you go on Twitter, they say this is people we think you know, and then you just add them all, or you invite everybody or whatever. I don't know. I just think that it could be made a lot easier.
Definitely, because go ahead.
When you look on your stream, when you go to the main Google Plus profile or the stream, when you see your stream, do you actually bother to click any of the circles to see individual streams?
Not really.
Me neither. That's another thing that bugs me a little bit. Like, I'd like to see everything. I've got most of them, but the thing is, when you see everybody, you see people that are oversharing. Like, they send too much, and then you don't.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the latest post from one person. Like, have that. That'd be great if I could have it like that. Just see the latest post. This is the latest post from blah 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 blah. Instead of seeing, 1 minute later, this person posted an animated GIF. 1 minute later, this person posted blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Because I mean, even like right now, like you've said two things on there on Google Plus. You said you're recording some gameplay with me, and then you said you're recording DojoCast. It's shown both of these.
Yeah, I see that.
But I'd like to just show the one.
Just one.
Or limit it to two. Two would be fine. But when you have 5 things from the same person,
it's gonna get
blocking out everybody else.
It screws up the stream. And imagine, having like 500 friends. I know people on Facebook who have well over, 700, 600 friends. And like you said, on Facebook, it's easy as you add them to my friends list, because that's one general list. Here, like, you add like 20 people one day, and then you gotta work to kind of sort them out in circles. I mean, necessarily you don't have to work to sort them out in circles, but then it kind of defeats the purpose when you want to share something and you share it specifically to a circle or to like the public or something like that. It just Google has a lot to work on, definitely. But I mean, I'm using it just to use it right now and checking out.
There's another thing as well that we were talking about earlier, if you remember. About feeding Facebook and Twitter into the people who post across all the social networks. You can't do that.
Yeah, as of right now.
No external way. There's no app for the iPhone either.
Yeah, it still hasn't been approved yet.
It's not been approved yet.
I mean, the only thing that's good right now is Hangout. That's pretty decent. I haven't tried it, but I've tried it once, but from what I've seen, it's pretty good. Have you tried it at all?
Oh, no. I haven't had a chance to do the Hangout, but I've said this before as well. Like, I'm not a fan of video calling and video conferencing. I don't know why. I mean, right now we're on Skype and we're just talking through audio, and that's fine. Yeah. But like, I don't want to constantly think about adjusting the camera or how I look or anything like that. But I think it's just me. I think I'm just getting old, or I'm just that unsociable that I don't want to talk to people.
No worries, my camera's on right now. But yeah, I mean, definitely, like, yeah, you're right. And as of right now, like I said, I'm using it to use it. I'm waiting for the app. I'm waiting for the. I'm sure there's some external way, but it's like, I'm not sure what it's.
I have another question for you, and another thing as well after that.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So, I think I asked you this, but so we've got Google Plus here, and you can't use Facebook and Twitter or anything. Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think that that's a bad thing? That you're seeing unique content on Google Plus?
Oh, so you're saying that?
Are you annoyed? Does it annoy you that you have to go to Facebook to see something about someone, and then go to Google Plus to see something about someone, and then to Twitter to see something about someone?
Oh, so you're saying, does it annoy me that it's not all aggregated into one?
Yeah, like that. Well, that would be awesome if you could just have a profile page of someone and everything they've got.
Yeah, and that's,
I know some services have tried to
like
do
Friend
that.
Feeds tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, like, back when FriendFeed launched, I think you were actually the guy who showed me this, because you did a video on FriendFeed a while back. I don't know if you remember. I think there's also one on Posters. I don't know if you remember that service. Posters, it was kind of the same. And Ping.fm was kind of different. It made you deliver content but not receive. But I really, really enjoyed that, like you said, because everything was one place. And I'm the type of guy, because you know me, I have all these monitors all around me. I like the feeling of command centers, how you have something surrounding you, but not the fact that it's only surrounding me, but I like the feeling of data or information being thrown at me. RSS feeds, stuff like that, whatever it may be. But definitely, I had a feeling of that when I use these social aggregating services like FriendFeed, and it was really easy because, like you said, I don't have to go to Twitter, I don't have to have the Twitter app open, because I can see what you're tweeting, but at the same time, I can see if you posted a video on YouTube, I can see if you updated your Facebook status. Much easier. But again, I guess a lot of people, I think it's much easier for us geeks, but it doesn't bother me as much now. Or it bothers me, I guess, but at the same time, and since I have so much stuff open, usually, throughout the day, I guess it doesn't bother me because I have multiple stuff open. I'm tabbing on, I have Twitter apps and stuff like that. So I guess I'm dealing with it right now, but I think the only problem is for the general, users, like not you and me, general consumers, friend feeding them and stuff like that. I don't think they could really quite understand those services, like aggregator. Like if you ask a regular person, or your friend, you think they would understand what an aggregator is? Like,
yeah,
like something that.
Do you know what I think would be good?
What?
Windows 8. They previewed Windows 8 and they're showing the tiles thing, which is similar to Windows 27. If they could do that and have, if you could see tiles
on multiple networks,
your friends. And then next to that tile, it shows you exactly what they've done in the past day or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
And have tiles all across the screen. If you could have that on like your desktop screen and it could fill the screen or size it as you want, and then do that on the phone as well, why can't we have that?
I don't. Yeah, definitely. It's just because so many people are obviously the competition right now is what's driving all of this, but. Again, I mean,
that's the thing. It's different APIs, it's different services. And it's trying to plug into all of them. That's the thing. Definitely.
But I mean, I guess that's what I haven't tried FriendFeed, but now that we got on the subject, I definitely do want to get back into FriendFeed and just check it out, see how it's been going. But like you said, I mean, again, then the problem is now that if you want to post a video out, you have to go to if you're not using something like Ping.fm, you have to go to your Google Plus, post it, go to your Twitter, post it, go to your Facebook and post it. Just because, people like us, we try to get as many people as we can to share our content and do our content, So, it's a problem for not using a service like Ping.fm. But, so that's our Google Plus thoughts, guys. That's a little long-winded, 13 minutes there. But that is a very, very important topic. So you can check us out on Google Plus. Duncan, you're just Duncan Maile on Google Plus, right?
Yep.
And you can find me, Adrian. I think it's Adrian Cogier. So, you guys can search us up both. I'll put our Google Plus profiles in the podcast description in the show notes, so you can check that out. But anyways, I want to talk about a story that's new to people in the U.S., but it's good I had Duncan on, because this is something you've had for quite a while now, isn't it, Duncan? Spotify.
Yes.
So how long have you guys had this for? Years now, I think? Years or months?
It's got to be well over a year. 2 years, nice. Possibly.
So one of the big things, if you don't know what the service is, Spotify has been a music streaming service that's been super, super popular in the UK, and I actually used to use, a lot of people used to use it through a proxy because it was only available in the UK. It was, back when it launched, it was a streaming music service. Back then it had no limitations, right, Duncan?
Well, for the very early people who got in, you could just listen as long as you want.
Yeah.
And then they introduced a cap for people, which was 20 hours.
And they added, ads.
And then they did it to everybody, and then said that you got 20 hours of listening time. I think it was 20 hours anyway, something around there. And you can only play the same song 5 times.
Wow.
So if you really like the song and you're putting them in playlists, that's one reason why I stopped using the service.
And advertisements too came in, right? I think I
no,
remember
you had advertisements anyway. So you had the banner advertisements kind of popped up in the side and popped up on the bottom, and then you had listening to about 3 or 4 tracks. Yeah, you'd listen, but you could actually close the client out and relaunch it and quit out the ad, and then you can start it again. That's one of the things you could do.
Very nice. But it was huge in the UK, and obviously it didn't come out to the US till recently because it's been a while. You know, there's a lot of talk about when it was coming, when would it arrive in the US, and finally it did arrive in the United States. So a lot of people are liking it. A lot of some people have dubbed it the iTunes killer, but there's still a lot of limitations with this. So first off, it has an iPhone app, if I'm not correct, right, Duncan? Is there an iPad app as well? Or?
Yeah. I had the
iPhone app.
I've bought premium quite a few times because obviously you need the premium version or whatever. I'm not sure what they have in the US now.
Yeah, it's premium also.
It's like a extra service that you have to pay for. You can get unlimited tracks, or you pay a little bit more, and then you get mobile support as well. And then it works very well. I mean, the client's been the same for a long time. There's one thing I couldn't get working, and that was with the stereo in my car. Because obviously that's got iPods and iPhone support, but that controls the iPod controls. But I mean, it works perfectly for what it needs to do. It has the offline support as well, so you can just listen to it on the go. It works fine.
Very nice. Let me head over to this site real quick right here so you guys can see. So here is the website. Play Spotify or Play Music right now. You can see here. You can try it. They have 3 plans in the US. I think how many did you have in the UK? 3 plans as well, Duncan?
Sorry, was the question?
How many plans did you have in the UK?
Plans? Yeah. Well, we just had the free, the unlimited, ad-free, and the premium.
Yeah, and it's exactly. Just checking here. That's exactly what they have here. It's free. I'm trying to find out where is the. Let me see what they have here. I'm trying to look where the plan thing is. It's not showing me here. So I'll click here to get started. Okay, here we go. So open is your free account, not available obviously in my country because I'm in Japan. But you get millions of tracks available instantly. You can play local files, share it with friends, and obviously millions of tracks. Unlimited is, I believe, $5 a month. It's not showing me here, but I'm pretty sure it's $5, $4.99.
Yeah, it's half the premium price.
Premium? Okay,
here, anyway.
Yeah, so it's $5. No advertisements, unlimited streaming of music. That's probably the one that a lot of people are going to go for. You can't play it, I believe, with Unlimited, you can't go on the phone, right? Yeah. So premium, like Duncan was mentioning, is the $10 one. You get on your mobile device. You get offline mode, so you can play it. Obviously, when you have no 3G connection or Wi-Fi. No advertisements, and the unlimited streaming of music. So how did that offline mode work, Duncan? Was that really well? Did it play out really well?
Yeah. It's not something because you think it means something like you can just drag it over and it's like an MP3 that you can just take. But it's more like it caches the file, so you just press a button. You can do it on all your playlists, or you can do it on like specific ones, and then it will just go through each song and then sort of spin for a bit. Nice. It has like really random file names, so you won't be able to play it with any other client. So it's pretty much you're stuck inside Spotify if you want to use it. And the same thing happens on the phone. You just put a slider across, and then it syncs all the tracks down to the phone.
Very nice. And you can see right here, guys, on the screen, you can see it supports a couple mobile devices as of right now: the iPhone, the iPod Touch, various amount of Android devices, a lot of Android devices. Symbian devices, Windows Phone devices, and even Palm devices. So for all you mobile users. So yeah, I can't say too much about it.
Am I right?
Used it. So, but go ahead.
Am I right in saying that it's invite only at the moment for the US?
As of right now, no, I think it's public right now.
I thought I saw a news article earlier saying that it might have been invite only because we've had it invite only for quite a while.
Oh really? I can't check because it doesn't tell me because it's not available.
Because I think I saw an article someone saying about how to get around the invite system.
I used to remember that. Yeah, I used to remember that. There used to be one too for me when I used to use it as a proxy. Maybe, I'm not sure. So you guys who are using Spotify in the US, let us know in the show notes or the comments on the blog so you can find that out. But yeah, so if you are in the US, I guess it's a great service for you to use. I enjoyed it, but like Duncan said, there's ads now. There's a lot of limitations compared to when it first came out. So maybe a little bit more different, so I can't talk too much for it on my behalf. But with that, guys, let's move on to our third story, and this is about another premium service, and ironically enough, it's called uTorrent Plus. So Duncan, we both didn't hear about this before, right? You had no idea about this.
No, I didn't know they were doing it.
Yeah, I just found out when we were looking for stories here. So a paid upgrade to the popular torrent manager, uTorrent, is in the works. The makers of the program just actually announced it today. Less than a month after uTorrent 3.0, which is like one of the big uTorrent upgrades, interface overhaul and all. But BitTorrent Inc. is revealing plans to introduce a paid upgrade called uTorrent Plus. It's still in development right now, but basically what it's going to do, it's going to include tools that is quoting from the article here. It's going to include tools that will eliminate codec problems, convert file formats, and move content between devices. So those three things for a there's no word on pricing as of yet. But I mean, what do you think about this, Dunk? Do you think this is something that people are actually going to pay for? Because in a sense, you can use, eliminate codec problems. You kind of have is that
VLC will play
almost
pretty much things without codecs.
Yeah, and then converting files. I mean, I guess some torrent videos come in weird files, but I'm sure you can use something like Media Coder. And moving content between devices, I'm guessing that's something like iTunes would do for an iPhone or PSP or something. So, what do you think? You think people will actually pay for something like uTorrent Plus?
Well, it depends, I think, on how well the app is made. I think are you a user of uTorrent?
Yeah, I actually do. And I used to download Dignation, the podcast off there, because I heard that if you download...
it's really good for episodic content, because then you can subscribe by RSS and things like that. But I think the application itself is really well made.
Definitely.
I mean, if they can pull it off, then definitely, I'm sure some people will go for that. Because I mean, it's I know you can get things for free elsewhere, but if you have it all in one,
it's much
then you don't have to worry about it. But so you say that it does it from other devices. So what copies the?
I would guess it would move it to if you download a movie, it gets your iPhone or that's what they're promising anyway.
uTorrent for iPhone. Pretty good.
Yeah, so
because I know that you can send. There's uTorrent Web, which is that thing web interface, and there's that thing where I can't remember the name, where you can it's like a mobile site or something, and you can send the torrent you want to download to uTorrent, and it'll download it for when you get home or whatever.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. But I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but me personally, I wouldn't do it, because obviously we're both power users and we know there's free things to do for everything.
Definitely.
So, but for the average person who obviously torrents quite a bit, then maybe it's useful for them.
Yeah, I guess because it just fills that gap. I don't know, because I picture the people who torrent are kind of savvy, in a way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They know, but then again, I know people I have friends who I know are total diehard pirators, copy movies or whatever, and they don't know too much. They know where to get the torrents in a sense, and that
or they've been taught by the people who know.
Yeah, they've been taught by friends who are trying to share movies and stuff like that. But I've been a huge user of uTorrent, not only because of the episodic content, but also I used it with when I did jailbreaking. Ponage Tool or whatever. They used to make you download that through torrents. And, there's a lot of stuff that nowadays that you'll actually see makes you download through torrents. Because, again, if you don't know how peer-to-peer technology works, obviously it grabs it can be faster to download because it's grabbing, I guess you would just say, parts from people who've also downloaded that file, or a big file.
Yes, like fragments.
Fragments. Yeah. So, instead of...
seeds.
Yeah, seeds and leechers and all that. But instead of downloading one file from one place, you can download a big file from multiple people at one time, which, obviously would... you can result in faster downloads and stuff like that. So, again, I guess you see a lot of people using uTorrent for movies and stuff like that. But this could be cool, I guess. Definitely something I wouldn't pay for, like you said, just because we're power users. Most of the stuff can be handled with something else. Hassle with codec, again, VLC. Device shifting, that's the only thing I guess some people would use, maybe to get the movie right out of uTorrent to their devices, like the PSP or something. But other than that, really, like you said, just not something for us. So you guys can check that out. It's still in the makes. They said there's no word on prices yet. You can stay up to date. They said if you sign up to their newsletter. So I'll leave you that link. It's at blog.bittorrent.com. All right, so let's talk some Apple news. There's not that much Apple news this week. Other than that, there is no Apple news because Apple did not release OS X Lion, which was supposedly supposed to come out, I think, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, which would have been... What was Thursday? Thursday was July 14th, was the expected release for Lion. All signs pointed to it because, one, they were switching App Store apps, saying that App Store apps would, updating apps, I should say popular apps, saying that they support OS X Lion, support now. There's a lot of talk about, Apple Store is getting ready to, release OS X Lion because it would be only available in the Mac Store for a while. See, you heard how, Duncan, they said it's only going to be available in the App Store. Do you think they're going to come out? They have to come out with a CD version, don't you think? A physical...
I'm not sure. Perhaps it's a way to make you buy the previous version and then upgrade from that. But I would have thought... Because, you can't... I know they're trying to kill optical media, but when you've got everything using optical media, and it's going to have so many support problems. They're going to have to do
especially because, like, imagine if you just bought a Mac, or you bought a Mac and you never upgraded to Snow Leopard, because for the regular consumer, you didn't really need to upgrade to Snow Leopard, because it was more of a speed increase. It's not like jumping from Vista to 7, So a lot of people are going to be on Leopard, which means that you have to buy Snow Leopard and then you buy Lion, because Snow Leopard has Mac App Store. Leopard doesn't have the Mac App Store. Not a problem with that also, but what happens when you need to reinstall? I'm guessing, I don't know, and you don't have another computer, I'm guessing they'll give you a way to offload it onto something, or, I don't know what the workaround's going to be. But basically, OS 10 Lion, would you say it's a major upgrade, or more of a how Leopard was to Snow Leopard?
Well, I'm not particularly clued up on Lion, but I heard from articles that it's not massively worth upgrading for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a random article I skimmed through, just saying that some people aren't pleased with it. So, I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, Josh, if you guys know him, I wish we could have had him on today, because he's been using Lion for, I think, a month or something. He has a developer account for Apple. He recently just actually went from Lion back to Snow Leopard, but he was saying, it was okay. It was really great. He liked the Launchpad. He liked the new features. He loved the multi-touch gestures, because he also got a new MacBook Pro. But he said he was having too many problems with just software support, because, again, he was using a developer copy, so you can imagine a lot of software wasn't supported. He said stuff like ScreenFlow, stuff that he needs to use for, like, tutorials and stuff like that wasn't supported. He said some of his programming apps still weren't supported, stuff like that. So definitely lack of support is going to be a problem, but I'm sure app developers, etc., are working on getting a lot of stuff supported for Lion as soon as it comes out. I myself, like you said, I haven't used it that much. I'm not that clued up on it other than when it was released. I have a MacBook. I have prepped it for, I guess you can say, Lion install, just because, like you said, even though it's not a major update, I'm just going to do it for the, the factor, just to use it, be on the latest thing. But I've, already backed up my data. I'm getting ready to wipe my SSD as soon as, I get my copy of OS 10 Lion, and I'll have my review on that. But yet again, there's still a delay, whether or not it's because of whatever reason. There's some bug, there's issues. Apple hasn't said, but it is supposed to come out in July, so time's running out for Apple. Hopefully within this week we'll see some talk. There's also talk about, I believe, Mac Pros being upgraded, so we may see some new Mac Pros. Who knows? But with that, Duncan, let's jump to our last story here. And where's my tab here? Okay, Firefox. There's a talk about redesign set for Firefox to make it more responsive. And Duncan, I don't know, but are you still a Firefox user, or have you fully switched to Chrome?
I have pretty much fully switched to Chrome, I have to say. I did love Firefox for its customization, but I know. Do you?
Yeah, I'm still on Firefox right now, actually.
Well, you're a full-time Firefox user?
Yeah, I used to.
Really?
I used to. Josh told me, drop Firefox for a month and use Chrome. Because you really don't. You can't really feel a product or a software, any service. I guess you can't really get a feel for it unless you fully, use it. Not like use Firefox and Chrome at the same time. Just 100% Chrome. And I had no problems ultimately. I had no issues. I wasn't missing any of my add-ons other than TabMix Plus, but Chrome did really great, really fast, really simple, clean interface. But I think when it came down to it, I just really preferred Firefox, because I've used it so much, and it's more that kind of loyalty type thing too, I felt bad if I switched from Firefox, because it's a browser I've stuck around with for a while, but no, I'm still on Firefox. What about you?
The reason I switched really was because they did their whole redesign. I liked version 3, and if they redesigned it again, but they redesigned it sort of helping with Windows 7, didn't they? Did
the one
hardware acceleration on the text and things like that.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't a fan of it. I thought I'm going to try out Chrome for a while, and then I just sort of stuck with it since. I've still got Firefox installed. I use 3 browsers. I use Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. Safari is not going to go into Safari, but it works fine for what it does, and I only use it for about 3 or 4 websites. And so I only use that as a secondary browser to sign in for things like I've got 3 different Google accounts, so I have to use the different browsers to sign in. There, which is a lot quicker. But I have no complaints with Firefox. I mean, I was like you. I was a diehard Firefox user. But ever since seeing what was available for Chrome and the extra bits, and really getting into it, I've just started using that, and it's just stuck with me.
Definitely. So, if you guys haven't heard, the redesign is going to be a lot of stuff for 64-bit support. To plan on to reintroduce the open source browser memory usage, because that's always been a problem with Firefox, leaking memory and stuff like that. They did a lot to fix it, but they're implementing a new technology which is called electrolysis, I believe. Electrolysis. Electrolysis, maybe, yeah. So that splits your Firefox into multiple processes. So
they're doing like Chrome, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Chrome, does that?
Yeah, so I guess that can be, when I think of that, that's why I like Chrome, because Chrome broke it into different processes, but at the same time, that can be, do you see that being a problem? Have you had problems with that on Chrome?
Well, I've had Chrome freeze completely, regardless of the process thing, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I've not really had one tab freeze. I mean, sometimes it does the whole blanking out, but...
Yeah. I guess that can be nice, so you don't screw up one whole thing.
Have you noticed, like, with the stock Firefox, it actually opens up fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But it's when you start loading it up with plugins that it's like down. So I don't know if a redesign is going to help that.
True.
Give more space for the plugins, but if you have really heavy plugins, then it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
It's the same with Google Chrome. Google Chrome's ultra fast, but then you add some extra bits onto it, and then it starts slowing it down.
Yeah. And Chris Blizzard, he's a director at Mozilla Web Platform, I should say. He has made up a blog post, and he highlighted some things. So he said, what we're really talking about with multi-process performance is responsiveness. That's a big word. He said responsiveness with this update. He's saying, how long does it take for the mouse click to be recognized? When you resize the window, does it feel smooth? Does the browser mysteriously pause from time to time? And are animations smooth without pausing? So basically, it's kind of those like little niche, or not, I should say niche, but little tiny things like, obviously, like I said, does it feel smooth when you move the window? Those tiny things that can be not, I guess, to the normal eye when it seems so huge as an update, but I guess, overall it creates an experience, So, again, like he's saying, how long does it take for the mouse to be recognized? So, again, he's just looking for mainly responsiveness. They're looking for support with 64-bit, a lot of increases there. Memory work, that's a big thing that they're going to be fixing those whole memory leaks. They're hoping that Firefox 7 will be dropping up to 30% in memory leaks, so that's very interesting. So, I don't know, Duncan, you'll definitely give it a try, though, when it comes out, won't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'll look forward to trying it. Yeah.
Yep, so we will look forward to that. And with that, Duncan, let's go into our picks of the week. Do you have yours? Do you have something you can catch out of the air there?
I have something kind of, yeah. I'll have to, if you go for yours first,
sure, no
then
problem. So, mine's actually a website, and this is something that Josh showed me a while back, or I shouldn't say too long ago back, because it's a service, I think, that came out this year. Very, very nice little web app. And I recently read Mashable's post on, I think it was Mashable where I saw this. It's called Memo Lane. Have you heard of this, Duncan? Memo Lane, really, really cool. If you're a person who's been on the web, any impact, any sort of following, any sort of community, and obviously any history of anything on the internet, from Twitter to Facebook to anything, you can see, search, and share your life on the internet. So really, really cool service. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on my Memo Lane. See if I can quickly, if I remember my login here. Let's see, Kid Guru. I think it'll be password in. Hopefully that's my password. Okay, so now I got it wrong. But basically what this does is it will allow you to kind of timeline your whole... Okay, so we can't even sign up. Let me try signing up here. Here we go.
Just show a featured one. There's some on the homepage.
Oh, really?
Just Robert Scoble, yeah. Just go to memolane.com and click Robert Scoble. He's the one who always... He's a very, very early adopter.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't have mine.
So you can see all the stuff. It's like a live stream, but it really goes back.
Yeah, so mine...
Really far.
I guess I haven't made mine, because I just went to memolane.com/kidguru.
It's got Google Maps in there, it's got pictures in there, it's got tweets,
so
Facebook.
Very, very cool site. If you, like I said, any type of thing. Basically, it takes all your stuff, timelines it, shows you everything you've done with specific dates. And like Duncan said, it shows maps here. It shows the flight that Robert Scoble took, his Foursquare check-ins, as tweets, all the tweets he tweeted in that day. You can scroll down here. Very nice interface. YouTube videos that he's posted within his tweets. I can keep on going down here. Facebook statuses, Facebook pictures, Flickr pictures. I'm going to go well back.
Instagram. It's got Instagram as well.
Instagram. doing a shot there. Flickr pictures again. Oh yeah, I see the Instagram. You can go way back here, and you can actually use the bottom right here. If you go, see those lines at the bottom? Really, really cool. You can go all the way back to, wow, Robert Scoble goes back to 2000. Friday. I'm going to go to February 11th, 2000. So,
I've got December 31st, 1999.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
So, if you want that nostalgic feeling of it all, to kind of archive your data, ever want to go back, it's kind of like if you ever gone to the Wayback Machine and looked at some old sites. But this is basically specifically for you. Memory lane, memo lane is what they call it. It's in beta right now. Check it out, guys. If you have any impact on the web from any content that you've put in the past, or as you can see here, even back up to 2000, and you just kind of want to go through it, kind of remind you of times, pictures, statuses, etc. Definitely something to check out, guys. Memo lane. I'll be making my account right now, actually, so you can find me at memolane.com/kidguru. Anyways, Dunk, go after you.
Yeah, well, mine isn't really like a specific website or a specific thing. And I can't really show you this, but I've got 11 different websites that can help you find what's popular online.
Oh, sweet.
And it's basically using all the different services.
What's the
like
link now? I'll head to it.
eBay. Well, I've got like 11 here. I'll have to paste you the full list.
No problem.
With me. I will do that. If people look in the show notes, or if you're putting this on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll do that as well.
But it basically has like the top searches on Yahoo, top listened to tracks on Last.fm, top torrent downloads, what's hot on eBay, what's hot on Twitter, what's hot on Delicious. It's basically what's hot online. So it's really useful to have a look at if you want to talk about things. Or
really useful for podcasts.
Like yeah, exactly. So you can just sort of have a look through all of those. And I think there's 11 there. Yeah, there's 11 there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, definitely. We will put that up in the show notes. And with that, guys, that ends episode 25. So, Duncan, thanks a lot for joining me, man. Hopefully we can get you on some other ones, other podcasts. So, Duncan, where can people check you out at? What's your main links? Go ahead and plug them all.
Just go to Facebook, type Mobilephone2003.
Other stuff there.
That's it.
All right, yeah. So, guys, also, quick announcement. I think last week we talked about Team Fortress 2. I got some emails from a couple of you. Actually, I got a couple of comments also about you guys getting it, downloading it, and some of you were complaining because you guys have been users of it for a while, and then it went free, But Duncan, if you want to talk really quick about your Team Fortress server.
Yeah, because now the game's free to play, anyone can play it, and I thought, why not have a little server we can all play on? It's a 20-slot server, and sometimes we get like about 3 or 4 players online, but to fill the other 16, we put bots in there, and these aren't just like, usually when you think of a new version of bot, they're going to be really easy and you'll be able to just kill them straight away. Well, this isn't the case. These are really difficult bots. They're very challenging. Even the people who have played there for a long time are complaining at me because I made the difficulty so hard. But, where's the fun in that if you have something that's too easy? So, we've got that set up. It's Dunk's Web Team Fortress 2 server, or you can just contact me or whatever, and I'll try and get you on there. Or add me or Adrian on Steam. We both play it quite a lot. Yes, we're on there pretty much every day.
Definitely check it out. No excuse now. It's free to play. Yeah. So do check it out. We will be in the server quite often daily. So check that out, especially because it's a break. It's on my break at least. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot. You can obviously find my content digitaldojos.com if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not, youtube.com/digitaldojos. My main Twitter is twitter.com/kidguru. With that, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week.